Today on Steve Rob Reviews, I'm going to have some fun. We're going to discuss how do you test an automotive battery, and many times, especially us do-it-yourselfers, make some critical mistakes. We end up either buying a new battery, end up buying a new starter. Well, there could be all kinds of occurrences going on when you don't test correctly. So what I like to do all the time when I'm testing is learn from the pros, and I've learned many times from the pros on YouTube that yeah, I used to make some valid mistakes. And, the biggest one is using your multimeter. When you're testing your battery and you measure voltage, well, what did you prove? Well, you proved absolutely nothing except you're reading a voltage reading, and that's it. And many times it's going to send you sideways big time, because a lot of times you'll think for sure your battery is good when in fact it's not. So let's take a look today at how I test an automotive battery. I got an example right here. Let's take a look and let's see if you could notice there's something definitely wrong here. Well, let's look at the battery right there. 230 cold cranking amps. This battery was made in March 2017. And we've got a reading here of 13.1. And of course, I've got it on the charger and it says, look, it's charged. So let's take a look at this a little more in depth and see exactly what's wrong here. Well, all I've done is taken the battery charger off. My meter is showing 12.5. And now I've got my actual battery tester on it. So let's just go through the menu here and go to cold cranking amps, 230, because that's what this is rated at, 230. And let's see what it does. 70 cold cranking amps and the battery fails. Well, right there you can see that you had the proper voltage. A fully charged battery is 12.6, and this just came off the charger, so you know it was charged straight up. And of course you can use this old style as well, but on every circuit I've ever worked on, what I like to do and what the professionals like to do is put a load on the circuit to see if it actually can hold the load. Because you know what, a voltage reading on anything, well, it doesn't really tell you whether it can carry the amount of amperage for the circuit. So when you're testing a battery, it's the same way. You really can't put a load on it, but you can use one of these battery testers. And this little one here that I've shown before, it's a small little compact unit. It does a great job. And you know, the old toaster styles, they do a good job too. They put a load under. Because you know what happens most times is you don't run into this. This is not a normal thing that happens, but it does happen enough. Especially on a battery that's been discharged. And what do the first people do? Well, they give it a boost. They get home and or whatever piece of equipment you have. You go to start it again and it's, well, you're down to very low amperage, right? This is the only way that I know of to checking a battery properly, or using the old style toasters. There's all kinds of variances on different types of these testers. I like this one the best. And you know, when you're thinking about testing any circuit, most people just look at the voltage reading. But you know, you could have two little small tiny hairs of wires touching and it'll give you the proper voltage. And but for most times, nah, you're not going to run into that. So, well, I got a phone call. What's going on here? No, I don't think so. Wow, it's the first time that's ever happened. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty well it today. And I just thought I'd show you, if you happen to get a battery that is, you know, really discharged, you charge it back up, and you take a look at the voltage and it shows fully charged, doesn't mean the battery's any good. And I've seen so many people misdiagnose a battery and go for the starter next. And you know, many times that's an expensive proposition, when if you would have just checked the battery in the first place and put it underneath a load And that's what these do. So thanks for joining me here today. If you've ever seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again, and we'll do some testing in the future on more stuff like this too. Cheers.